Okay, guys, so 3 questions. How many petals are different from the dominant ones? And you might even want to say, you know, in my case, 5 of the 10 petals are different from the dominant ones. Here are the ones where they are different. So the inner petals, guys, you're going to put in there, how do you identify yourself as an individual?
These are all our personal views.
Yes.
So like our
Personal view of yourself. So how you see yourself.
when it comes to like religion and stuff like that, like
Religion, we're going to take out, so we're not looking at religion right now. But all of the other petals that we did, so the inner circle, actually let's do
could you give me like one example? Like just
Absolutely. So let's do this. Where's my original flower go? Okay. So let's say, for instance, so we identified that, sorry guys, I'm looking at the time. Can I keep you guys here for like another 2 hours after class?
you paused there for a long time. I was like,
Yeah, I was waiting. I
was like, are you being serious?
Why am I the only one who laughed at that? You guys are like ready to
I
do
chuckled.
it?
I chuckled.
We got a secure
Good, I like to
no.
hear it.
We got 1 no.
I can give you a
I don't want to
no.
keep your flowers, but we need to keep the time here. Okay, so for instance, okay, the dominant petal we put as, for instance, for sex, we put
Male.
right? So in the inner petal, I self-identify as female. I'm going to put female. I'm going to write that out in the inner petal.
So basically you're trying to say like whatever deviates from the dominant petal, that's what you're going to do for that layer basically?
Right, right. So you want to identify how many petals are different from the dominant one. So that right there, that would be one where, for myself under sex, it would be my petal for sex would be different than the dominant one. Okay, does that make sense? Yes.
Sorry, what did you put for religion and ethnic group?
We didn't cover ethnic group either. Okay, so we're leaving those out. We're leaving out ethnic group, religion. We're leaving out denomination. So scratch those out. Religion, denomination, and geographic origin. Okay. They're relevant topics, but just because of time and the way our class is scheduled, we're not gonna cover those in detail. Okay? Yes.
So what we write in is like what pertains to us. So like for race, like I don't okay. So
It's like
for
race,
sexual
you're white.
orientation, if you're heterosexual, you would write heterosexual,
Right.
or if you were gay, you would write gay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So for instance, under sexual orientation, we put that the dominant, right, that exercises power and that oppresses people is heterosexism. If you identify as heterosexual, you're going to write that in, and those petals are matching. Therefore, your self-identity matches that which in society, your self-identity is the same as what society is where power is held in society. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
What about university education? You just said post-secondary. Does that mean it has to be completed or we have to currently be in it?
Let's say currently in it. So I would put, so you're currently completing this post-secondary. Yeah. So for that example, we're all going to be, everyone in this room is going to have, is going to be matching.
You're
Right?
female there, so that's different. So it's 1.
So that one is not going to be,
Check mark. Urban,
it's not
in the
different
urban
from the
setting.
dominant one. Because right now, we all
You know,
match
so
when it
like
comes
clergy,
to
that would be
we all
different because you're not
match
clergy. You'd be
power
within the general
relation.
population. So
It's all
everyone
about
would be
relations
different
and
there.
power, right? Where, in what ways do we reflect and we wield power, and what ways do we, does that make sense? Yeah? Any other, yes,
For your age group, you said middle age.
right, middle age.
25 plus, so what would you consider?
You said 20 plus. That's what you said. She said 20 plus. That's what you said.
Really?
So middle age is
Let's change that. Let's say 30. Let's keep that just at 35.
35?
plus.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Because at that point, at 35, chances are you've completed your post-secondary, you've been hired and you might have moved into management, you're likely building your, or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
you're likely building yourself financially. So let's put 35. Yes,
Learn for the reflection. If it like an online thing or do you have?
good question. Handed in, typed up 1 page, font 12, not through Slate, hard copy. Okay, so print it out. Please do not email me anything or put it on Slate. Just come to class, print it out, and submit that next week. Yeah. Okay? Second question, what light does this throw on the way you have been treated as a person of privilege or as a marginalized person?
So for that, when you're saying marginalized, like basically whatever differentiates from the rest of the petals, would that be adding to like your kind of oppression basically?
Right, right. So for instance, right, when we're looking at sex, I would be reflecting, I would say, well, wait a minute, the fact that my inner petal doesn't match the outer petal when it comes to sex, what light does this throw on the way that I have been treated as maybe a woman, as a person of privilege or marginalized? And then I might even say, you know what, in some contexts, like maybe work context, I actually have a lot of privilege, right? But let's say maybe in my personal life or my family life, caregiving, whatever, I'm actually a marginalized person. Work is undervalued, underpaid, maybe not educated.
You'd be marginalized in more ways than one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tell me more about that. How do you think that we can be marginalized in more than
I
one way?
would say racially, your sexual orientation,
Yeah.
possibly like your disability, lots of underlying factors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what that word is? What you're referring to is intersection. Everyone write that down. It's on the word intersectionality. That's exactly what we were referring to. The intersectionality is what happens when there are multiple when there are multiple petals that are different from each other. How can that lead to increased complexity, increased potential oppression, right? Absolutely. Race, gender, class, ability versus disability, education. I'll give you I'll say that example for our class on disabilities. How some of them, how social class might actually cut through and actually privilege someone who is physically disabled. In some ways, and then some ways not, right? Okay, third question, guys. Which of these cannot be changed and which can be changed? Okay, so just reflect on these questions. If you have any questions throughout the week, please feel free to send me a message on Slate, but I prefer email. Okay, because email, I'll get that faster than Slate.
Is it being marked?
We're not getting a break just yet, hold on.
No. Is it being marked? Is there?
Yes, so it's going to be part of the in-class activity, and it's based on participation. Sorry, so it's, okay, it's not based on participation, but you need to be present in order to actually complete this. The in-class activities, does that make sense?
Yep.
So let's say someone wasn't here this week, they should come to speak to me, but the idea is that you have to be in class today to be able to complete it. I'm just giving you a week to complete it and then submit it next week. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And when will we be doing the activity, if you don't mind me asking?
What do you mean, sir?
You said we're going to be using it for an in-class activity?
Okay, so this was the in-class
This was?
activity.
Okay, that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was the in-class activity,
Cool.
and then you're just going to reflect on it and submit that reflection to me next week.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You don't need to reference for this.
No, but kind of we,
Yeah, put a title page with your name, our class page, and then just call it the Power Flower.
Is this
Yeah.
APA?
Is what APA?
Is this APA?
Yeah. She
we
just
have
said
a
that.
no reference.
Sorry.
No reference page. Yeah, don't worry about a reference page for this.
Terrible listening.
Okay. Okay, guys, so we're just gonna go through this, okay?
I caught all of that.
It's a lot of English.
Okay. So we covered a lot of this already, but just, here's the theory part. I think it's bigger.
Oh.
Is that perfect? Okay.